And importantly, it's important to have a rent review process. So what does your tenancy agreement say about your ability to increase the rent, by how much and how often? So it's important to note that you can't increase the rent for more than once a year. And it's also worth calculating the cost of not increasing your rent. So again, if that £50 example, if we increase our rent by £50, we've made £600 per year. There's often a perception that increasing the rent might scare your tenant and it might, push them out and you might be facing a void. I think it's also important to note that the general level of inflation does affect everybody. So as prices rise, people pay more and people pay less, and it's important to keep abreast of that trend. So the impact of not increasing your rent for perhaps 5 years would be quite costly to you as a landlord. So bear that in mind, that there is a cost to not increasing your rent. If you decide to increase your rents, I think it's important to always look at that once a year. You can decide not to, but I think it's important to look at it and not forget it. So schedule it on the calendar. I'm going to review my rent in January or February, for example, communicate with my tenant and increase it, even if it's by £20-30 a year. That at least that keeps you abreast of the marketplace. And you can have a basis for increasing the rent. So you will probably know the market value of your property in the area, and you can look at more evidence-based things like the rate of inflation. There are statistics around that tell you the rate of inflation, and the Office of National Statistics is a great website for inflation rates, or indeed house price inflation in different areas of the country. So you can base your inflation or your increase in rent on some actual figures, which does give more credibility to your rent review process.